Hello, good people. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Nathaniel Latte, and like I always say, the purpose of this platform is personal development. Personal development. Today, I want to talk to you about mentorship. But before I do that, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and click on the subscribe button. Let's get right into it. So who is a mentor? A mentor is, according to Google, I just did a quick Google search and it says an experienced and trusted advisor. An experienced and trusted advisor. I agree with that definition. And so my philosophy has always been I need an experienced and somebody I can trust in different aspects of my life. Now bear in mind we are talking about personal development. You cannot develop all by yourself without the help of others, right? And one of the people you really need, or one of the group you need, are mentors. Definitely, 100%. And so today I'm going to share with you some of my mentors in different aspects of my life and why I decided to choose them as my mentor. And the reason I'm doing this is for you to know of their existence if you do not already know they exist. And I can promise you that there are a thing or two you would definitely learn from them. And so let's get the ball rolling. When it comes to leadership, there are two main guys, who I really follow closely, I listen to, consume a lot of content from. The first person is Kuan Yew. Those who are into international politics, this name shouldn't be new to you. Kuan Yew is the guy who is responsible for what Singapore is today. The guy is just amazing. He's not perfect. I'm not saying he's perfect. But if you understand how Singapore became a first world country, you would know what I'm talking about. Kuan Yew was a leader who transformed Singapore. And don't forget, I'm Ghanaian, and Ghana gained its independence in 1957. In fact, during that period, Ghana was better off than Singapore. So in the 60s, Kuan Yew came to Ghana for inspiration to develop Singapore. And at the time, Kuan Yew and his Singapore were a third world nation. But now, things have changed because of the vision of one man, Kuan Yew. We talk about leadership, then I entreat you to investigate, to learn more about the personality of Kuan Yew. Now, the next one on leadership is Paul Kagame. This guy I love so much. Now, he's the current president of Rwanda. And in Ghana, in most of Africa, he's really admired for what he has turned Rwanda into. Now, Rwanda went through a horrific period with the genocide. We all know about that, where there were unfortunately some killings, which took the country's development back for probably 10 to 20 years. This man comes onto the scene, Paul Kagame, and trust me, I've never been to Rwanda, but I have closely monitored the progress the country has made over the years, and I just say, a salute Paul Kagame. He is a transformational leader. I like his thinking. I like that he's a visionary leader. I like that he executes. He doesn't just talk, he executes. And these are the things a leader needs to be successful. There are so many things I can say about Paul Kagame, but that is not the purpose of the video. My purpose is to mention these guys to you, for you to check them out, and I believe there is a massive lot you can learn from their lives. So let's move on to the next category, which is communication. Communication, extremely important. Like I mentioned, Paul Kagame, Kuan Yew, all of these guys were great communicators. But I don't look up to them in that sense. I look at their leadership, I look at how visionary they are, I look at how they manage crisis, I look at how transformational they are, But then when it comes to communication, their kind of communication is a bit different from what I am interested in. And so I try to separate communication from leadership. And the two I have for communication are, number one, Vuci. I hope I got that right. He's South African. Vuci, if I massacred your name, please forgive me. But yeah, he is my communication mentor, at least one of them. Now, Vuci has won a lot of international awards. He has been in many speaking competitions and has won both nationally, i.e. South Africa, and internationally. The guy can speak. The guy is eloquent. The guy really talks well. The guy talks like a gentleman. Clearly, he's concise. He can narrate stories very well. Not these kind of guys who narrate a story and if you feel like you were actually there when the thing was happening. Vuci is a massive communicator. I love him. So sometimes I just listen to him. Well, I love the content he also brings out, for sure. Not just the way he talks, but then I just listen to the way he expresses himself, listen to the way he makes his argumentations, and boy, oh boy, this guy is good. Vuci. I love it. The second person is Joe Rogan. He has a talk show called The Joe Rogan Show. I'll just put a link somewhere for you to check him out. And Joe Rogan, there's something special about Joe Rogan. Trust me, today is difficult for people to watch YouTube videos for more than 5 or 10 minutes because people are like, okay, after 1 minute, okay, next one, after 2 minutes, but for him to have people listen to him for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and I also do that actually. I listen to this guy, the way he communicates, the way he interacts with his guests on his show. It's impressive. And he interviews people or have these talks with people from all sorts of backgrounds. It's just impressive to be able to hold conversation with these people from religion, science, psychology, whatever I can think of, entertainment and arts. He talks to them, and you can see that his guests are also enjoying the conversation. It's like, okay, you meet a friend and you're talking. Basically, that's how it seems like. But then, it is a skill, your ability to hold conversations in different subjects. Of course, he prepares and all of that, but then the execution is just flawless. And one of the key things there is he's being true to himself. You see that he's very relaxed. He's also enjoying the whole process. He doesn't have to think, what am I saying wrong? Are people going to like the things I'm saying? No, he's just free-minded, free-spirited, and he just delivers being true to himself. And I think if you study Joe Rogan, trust me, I'm sure there are a thing or two you can actually learn when it comes to communicating with people. And that is why I love the Joe Rogan show. So let's move on to the next category. And it's just maybe 3 or 4 things bundled up together: sales, marketing, entrepreneurship, business, and all of that put together. And my 2 mentors for this category are, number 1, Patrick Bet-David. Patrick Bet-David. Just check him out. He also has a YouTube channel called Valutainment. And trust me, I have learned a lot from Patrick Bet-David. And there's something special about Patrick Bet-David. I am able to connect with his background. He's an Iranian originally. He's now an American, of course. And when he narrates the things he went through together with his family from Iran, how he ended up in Germany and eventually ended up in the US, how he joined the US Army, how he decided to become an entrepreneur, and all of that, the way that the mistakes he made as an entrepreneur starting off. Trust me, there are lots and lots of things you can learn from Patrick Bet-David. He's doing very well for himself, but it's not really about the money he has made for himself, but it's about his story and the fact that he is able to teach you business that is applicable in all industries. And he does it with a mindset of somebody starting off, somebody who has already been in it for a while, somebody who is advanced. So you can already see the transition of and the kind of information you would need to also transition as an individual who wants to do business. He is a sales expert. So if you want to learn a lot about sales, doing sales in business, then he's one of the guys you have to be listening to. So Patrick Bet-David. And by the way, I also love his Valuetainment show, and I love the way he also interacts with his guests. I like the content, and all I'm saying is check out Patrick Bet-David. So the next person I want to talk to you about in this category is Gary V. I'm going to leave his full name here for you to check out. His last name is a bit difficult to mention, but anyways, Gary is an interesting character. And I love him because of his knowledge on social media. Now, if you're doing business or whatever it is, or even your own personal branding, you need social media. Definitely. Whatever you have against social media, please put it aside. I'm talking about reality now, and tap into the potency of social media. You can also live your life without social media. That is fine. But if you're doing business, there's a lot you can gain out of knowing how social media works. And Gary V is one guy who really knows how social media works. He's able to predict which social media platform you should be paying attention to, how you should use like Instagram, Facebook for marketing your business, for pushing out your brand. He understands social media. And so just take advantage of the internet and the information he's putting out there to build your business and to build your brand. Gary V. Check him out. The last and final category is politics. I still remember I had to stand for elections during my bachelor days to be elected as the president of a student association, right? I still remember the process I had to go through, the campaign, making some posters, and then going out there telling people what I intended to do when I was elected into office, and even the D-Day during the election itself. Still go out there, gather people, bring people around, persuade them to come and vote, and of course, in the end, the results came out and I won. That process, and it just doesn't end there. That's just the beginning of the job. The real job starts once you've been declared the winner. And so, all of this experience actually was exciting to me. I learned a lot within that period, and that is why I love politics. With the right people in office, I know a lot can be done to help society. So 2 people I look up to when it comes to politics: Barack Obama and Thomas Sowell. I'm not going to say a lot about Barack Obama because we all know who Barack Obama is, but then a few things that I admire about Barack Obama as a politician. I love the way he carries himself. I love the way he carried himself before the elections, the way he spoke, the way he was persuasive, his charisma. But then there is this humility to it. I just love it. It's just special, It's a guy who is very charismatic, but still presents or comes across as very humble. It is special. I love that. I love the way he's able to bring a lot of people together to support a cause. And the cause at the time being the Yes We Can. Read some of his books. I'm going to leave a link or make suggestions to the few books I've read on Barack Obama. And please, just pay attention, especially with his charismatic nature, the way he speaks, the way he delivers his speeches. There's a lot you can learn from President Obama. Second one, Thomas Sowell. Thomas Sowell, I mean, it's just a coincidence the two gentlemen are all African Americans. But Thomas Sowell is an interesting character. He's an African American who is Republican. And Thomas Sowell taught me one simple thing: how to view social, political issues. He taught me not to think about them emotionally, but to use data, statistics, and facts to process social, political issues. And that if you use emotions, you will make a lot of wrong judgments and you would have the wrong impressions and ultimately not have the right solutions to the problem. So he's an interesting character, being an African American who is, I don't think he's a politician, but then his views have political influence on the political space of the US. So listen to him, watch all of his interviews, listen to the way he makes his arguments using facts, statistics, and listen to what he says about feminism, about human rights, about Black Lives Matter, about the history of slavery, about all sorts of social, political issues. But then his arguments are based on facts, the statistics. I recommend him to you. Check him out, consume some of his content. Let me know what you think. If he has been helpful to you or not, or what you learned about some of the things he said, or even what you even dislike about him. But I think Thomas Sowell is somebody we can all learn something from, whether you're on the left or the right. And so these are my mentors. I really hope I can meet each one of them soon. If you know one of them, tell them Nathaniel Latte wants to meet and talk to them, because they have really shaped my life in very special and specific ways. And today, the goal is to inform you about their existence and for you to pay a little more attention if you already know them. And just view them in the areas I've mentioned to you. And I promise you, there's definitely something they're going to teach you. The goal has always been personal development. And we are on a journey to fulfill our dreams. And so on that note, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next episode. Salute!